And a happy Wednesday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout, where we will be having the Traveling Jagrs joining us, but we're just waiting them to get. They're traveling.
Yeah.
They're traveling right now to come join us here on the Hangout. Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with you here. Dustin Nielsen is now sitting here
I'm a
as
placeholder.
well.
But damn good one.
Thanks, man.
Thank
You
you.
guys want to talk about Jaromir Jagr?
Yeah, well, I mean, Jaromir Jagr is an old man now, so
Yeah.
he does things a little bit more slowly, a little more methodically, and henceforth the Traveling Jagrs, I'm assuming, adapted that mantra.
It is funny how they're late, though, considering.
They told me
How
they'd
they
be here at 9, they get changed, they'd do the shtick, and they're like, how
So they're
long do you
coming
want
in
us
dressed
for?
as Jagrs.
Oh, we're getting... How can you come
How do you
in?
know these guys?
It's a long story.
Well, we're on the Hangout.
We
We're
got
on
2
the Hangout.
hours, and the guests aren't here yet.
So okay, I think this is like the last hurrah for the Traveling Jagrs. One of their guys.
That's
is
what they were
sick.
saying. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, and so we'll get the story from Rhett and Tyler, who are coming in, part of the Traveling Jagrs. No Yamini, we can call him Yamini if you want.
Okay.
But I'm through our friend Dean Lowry from Local.
Okay, yeah.
Rhett is a good friend of Dean's, and just got to know Rhett years ago, and he's like, I'm part of the Traveling Jagrs. I was like,
Does he
pardon?
live in Edmonton?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
they
a bunch
they
of
don't
them
all
do.
live in Edmonton.
Not all of them, but
Okay.
But a bunch of them.
yeah.
Sorry.
And so I said, I'm like, pardon me, you're part of the Traveling Jagrs? He's like, yeah, I'm this Yags, and they have like a nickname for each one.
Okay.
I think it's the team name. I can't remember which one Red is. I don't know if he's Pittsburgh Yags. We'll see when he shows up. And I was like,
Cool bit,
wow,
though.
wow, you guys really go all in on this. There's a great story, and I hope that we're gonna make them tell it. But they were on Sportsnet a few years ago, and they got a bunch of beers, the whole crew. They stiffed. The Spec ended up with the bill.
Spected?
Yeah.
They stiff spec with the they stuff spec with the bill.
Yeah.
Oh, people are gonna love that one.
He paid it. He was happy about it and passes it off. Gets expensed.
That's a good story to say later.
But I think they could
Yeah,
tell.
they could
before.
probably tell that one pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I think Gene would have paid for it or whatever. But I think the assumption was that it was all taken care of, which eventually it was, obviously. But they could tell that story when they get here better. Interesting crew though, and I thought, you know what? What the hell? Why not? Great story. They're leaving for Prague on Friday, I believe.
Really?
Yes.
So are they celebrities in Prague? Like, do we know? Like,
I don't know. They're kind of like, hey, there's those Traveling Jagrs. So when you see them anywhere in the NHL,
Yeah, you
everyone
know them.
kind of
It's
knows,
awesome.
right?
Do you think they can text Jagr?
Yeah, they're meeting up with him.
Is that what I
as
was?
far as
That's
I
why
know.
they're going out there. Is that
Yeah.
kind of what? Okay.
Yeah, and he
That's
fully
cool.
fully embraced them when
What a cool bit.
they went to Calgary, and they did a great thing there with them.
You can't really do it with many other players. Like, he had such a unique look and was so awesome. Like, think about top 20 guys of all time who had a better look than Jaromir Jagr. Like, you could do it with the weird bucket on the Gretzky thing. And you know that one guy who goes to Oilers
Yeah.
games and dresses up like Gretzky? Like,
That's all right.
but I don't know. Jagr just is got to be the most unique looking superstar in NHL history with that flow. Like,
And you also got to wear so many different jerseys.
exactly.
Like
That's
it was,
why
everyone
works,
could
right?
have like their own jersey and still have a Jagr on the back.
Yeah.
And it's not just everyone's wearing the same jersey.
Right.
I want you guys to ask them this question when they come in. But do you guys think Jagr would be more highly touted in the greatest of all time discussion? It sounds like they might be here if he played on like 3 teams. You know, like if
Probably.
he just played on 3 teams and if he didn't leave, remember he left.
The
like, still
leaving, I think, is
basically
the
his
big one.
prime.
I think it's
'Cause
the leaving is the big one.
I think from like if you look at like the numbers from a numbers perspective for like let's say his first before leaving, like he's won everything. Like Jagr should probably be in the top 10 all time discussion, but I don't think he is because kind of became a bit of a journeyman at later in the career, and to me that sucks because Jaromir, go watch prime Jaromir Jagr play. He was physically dominant with ridiculous hands.
Yeah.
Could skate like the wind for a big man.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, starting in his 3rd year, I'm going to jump to the
go
third.
for this run. Yeah.
94 points, 99 points, 70 points in 48 games, 149 points, 95 in 63 games, 102, 127, 96 in 63 games, 121, 79 in 69 games.
He's a freak.
And then became a point-a-game player except for he had 123 and 82 first year after the lockout.
Yeah, I think him bouncing around by the end, like it almost became a running gag. Like, what team's Jagr going to
Yeah,
play for this?
I
Or what
guess.
team's Jagr getting traded to this? Then he went to Florida, and he had a couple of okay years in Florida, and then he signed with Calgary briefly. And I don't. it became like a running gag basically, and I think tarnished
which kind of tarnished the overall, like, because what is his list? Are you in
Okay,
DP?
I'm looking at his hockey DP.
Yeah.
So Penn's obviously for a long time went to the Capitals, goes to the Rangers, Flyers for a year, Stars for a year, Bruins for a year. No, Stars, Bruins were same year. Then goes to the Devils. Then second season the Devils goes to the Panthers, with the Panthers for a while, and ends with the Flames. But it's those 3 years where he goes to the KHL between the Rangers and Flyers from 08 to 11 that I think really also hurts him.
And didn't you? Yeah. So, and what were his numbers the year before he left?
So the 2 years prior were 96 and 82, and then 71 and 82.
Yeah.
And then when he came back, his first year back was still 54 and 73. So just like he would have been a
effective
55, 60 goal player to point a game player in those 3 years.
Do his
and
awards.
he ends with 19,000, over 1,900 points, not 19,000, 1,900 points.
3 years out.
In 1,700 games. Like he would have been over 2,000.
Yeah.
if he didn't go to Russia for the money and
the 3 years there.
less stress. I remember when he had that press conference when he was with the Rangers, and he's like, I don't know if I'm coming back. And people were like, oh, he's going to Russia. And that's when the KHL was starting to
They were
really
trying
pick
to
up.
They were trying to be live golf.
Yeah.
KHL had on Russia Oil had
They
all
were
that
hoping-
money, and they were hoping to steal a bunch of players from the NHL to build.
Well,
their
Yager
league.
was
And
like,
they got
yeah,
Yager,
dude, like,
they got Kovalchuk,
Yep.
and that was like it.
yeah.
And dud.
But what did he win? Like from an awards perspective?
Art Ross.
He
won
won the
them all.
Art Ross 5 times.
5 Art Rosses.
He won a Hart.
He had the Hart once. Lester B. Pearson, which is now the Ted Lindsay.
Lindsay, yeah.
He did that 3 times. And then Bill Masterton Trophy in 15-16.
I
But yeah,
remember.
Art Ross 5 times.
5-time Art. Like,
Yeah,
the
like-
list of guys who won the Art Ross 5 times is probably like
And I still
5 or 6 guys deep.
Lester B. Pearson to me should be considered the
And he got
MVP over
3
the
of
Hart,
those.
and he got 3
Yeah.
of those.
I remember seeing him in 1993-94 before the first lockout, or the 94-95 lockout. They played against the Oilers. The Oilers were not a very good team at that time, much like today. Too soon. Anyway, I remember him. It was Ken Raggett in net for Pittsburgh. Mario Lemieux sat that game out. And then it was Bill Ranford for the Oilers. And, man, he probably, every time Jagr was out there on the ice, he had the curly flow with the ugly Jofa bucket. Every time he was out there, the puck was his, and he did whatever he wanted with it. And I think the Oilers won that game like 5-3. Jagr was in on every Penguins goal, and Ken Raggett broke his stick over the crossbar because they lost to the Oilers.
Nothing like an angry Ken Raggett.
Yeah, and so I remember I thought to myself at that time, I was like 8 or 9 years old. I'm like, man, Jagr's amazing, but he's such a puck hog. And I couldn't believe it because they had some great players on that team, and he was hogging the puck, but one of the best to ever do it. But yeah, I think the legacy is tarnished by.
Well, it's also because it
happened?
hurt him a little bit that when he won his cups, they were at the beginning of his career, like right at the very start. And people might forget that he's a cup winner
Yeah.
because he
I
played
mean, maybe,
so
but
long
it
and later.
shouldn't. Like, it shouldn't.
The closest he got was like a conference final or two with, I know Pitt went to another one, didn't they?
Are you thinking like without Mario or?
Or maybe second round. But he never really made a run again
Yeah.
after that, right?
Still one of the best to watch ever played a game. And
Yeah.
you're right, from a puck protection standpoint, I'm not sure anybody ever is protect like Peter Forsberg.
Forsberg was
could
great.
protect the puck extremely well. Jaromir Jagr might have been. I use him as an example sometimes for my son, who's a Giant. I said, I call his big ass his meat cheeks. I'm like, use your meat cheeks here to keep people away from you. And he said, but that's what Jagr did.
Yes,
he made
he
a
did.
living using his meat cheeks to keep
You
people
could
away
see
from
him.
him. He had a huge ass.
Huge.
Great
ass.
guy, huge ass. Pretty much.
Strong like bull. Strong like bull. And then the thing is, like, you can't have like a traveling like you can't have the traveling Mike Cylinders.
Yeah, the traveling. Who else play? Yeah, you can't. You're right.
Yeah, like you played for like 12 teams. It's just not the
Traveling
same.
Kevin Glenn's.
Yeah, Kevin.
You know,
Glenn.
traveling Kevin Glenn's would be a great
I respect
CFL thing
that.
to do.
That would be
I
pretty
do
good.
like the idea of a traveling Kevin Glenn's that are hitting up every Grey Cup in every single jersey. I think that would be great. Okay, I'm going to slide out. I'm going to send these guys in. They're going to be right here.
Okay,
You're just
beautiful.
grabbing a drink or something.
Text comes in. 780-218-9999. Tyler from the Traveling Jagrs played pro.
day. Look at
here we
this.
go. How you doing? Come on in. Looking good.
Matt, by the way.
I
Tyler,
knew you were
nice to meet you.
Pittsburgh Jagrs.
Matt.
Hey, Matt. Nice to meet you. Just call me Yogs.
Yogs? How do we differentiate which Yager you each are?
Yeah.
We just say Yogs, you both answer. That's all I have to say. So speaking into the mic, you got to
Yeah,
speak
bring 'em
into
nice
the
and close
side parts
and
here,
into the
right here.
side,
You gotta
yeah.
speak into that part.
Okay.
There you go. We're at
this.
I mean,
sound of my voice
Pittsburgh
now.
Jagrs.
Pittsburgh Yog and Ranger Yog.
As soon as you get the
Great to be
mullet
here.
on, you're in character, eh?
I love this.
Love this. Nice flows.
Sorry
You guys
we're
keeping
late.
it-
Hey,
Hockey Canada needs some pee and blood tests before we go over there for us to play. So we,
hey,
we
Rick,
had to make
they're
sure.
Pit Yog.
Yeah, sorry.
There you go.
Yeah,
Nice and close.
Hockey Canada needed a pee and blood test there, so so we were a little late there.
Right.
Right. So sorry for being late, guys.
Needed to get somebody else's stuff to give to them.
Oh, I see.
Well, what I can neither confirm nor deny this.
Good morning. welcome.
So I had to get a coffee right after.
No, that's what you need in the mornings. I wish I didn't grab one this morning. I should have done that. So I guess let's just start with what the story of the Traveling Jagrs and
Well,
what you guys are and how this all got going.
how this all got going was we went down to the States. We did a group costume in Vegas. Me and about 4 or 5 buddies. We were NFL referees. Best time we've had going to the Playboy Club. But it was the group costume that kind of got it, like, that's what made it good. Okay. So that was right around the time when Yager was coming back from the KHL. Okay. So you're a Pavel Bure fan, you're a Yager fan as a kid, like growing up with Pro Set cards, right? So we decided to go to Vegas dressed as Yager, as a version of Yager. Rangers, Philly, and Pittsburgh.
I think
We didn't have Washington at that time.
okay.
We didn't. Again, there was only 4 of us, right? So we all went as Yager, and Yager comes back. He's playing in Edmonton against Philadelphia, and I'm like, let's go dressed up as Yager to the game. So there was 3 of us: me, Josh Hood, and another guy. And he only had jeans on, but we had like this, exactly how I look right now. And we were just roaming the streets of Edmonton, dressed as Yager, like going to one of the games. And actually, we were downtown, and Max Talbot was on the bus, and he took a picture. He's like, and Yager's on that bus with Talbot, and he tweeted it out. And there's 3 of us on the street. And then we went to the game. There's 3 of us at the game, fans of the night kind of thing. And it was fun. It was funny. Like it was great. It was like interaction with the fans. And then, involved my cousin Trevor down in Calgary. He's like, let's dress everyone as Yager, right? So he's got a version on it, like Dallas, he got, Czech Republic. And, we made it all up. So it's kind of,
Yogs.
yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And then
How easy was to get a jersey of that one?
Trev found one. He's resourceful, that's for sure.
Yeah. So that's how it all started. And you know what? When you go to a game, you're dressed as Yager. You're only cheering for Yager. Okay. Like you're going to the
That's the
game.
rule.
Rule number 1.
Well, and protect your mullet, right?
Yes.
Like putting on the mullet is part of the,
Thought that was a given.
yeah, oh, yeah, of course. Hey, and in fact, like when we were in Calgary and we had box seats or whatever, I'm bringing my sister, and she was dressed up in her kit, we call it, and she wouldn't put the mullet on. And, as an older brother, I'm like, put the mullet on. What are you talking about? We're at the game as the Traveling Jagrs. You're not going to put the mullet on? And I was just thinking about that today. The refusal to wear the mullet was one of the first. It was
Faux pas.
yeah, totally.
That's insulting. I'm insulted.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, you're just allowed to give her a good Charlie horse, like as an older brother, right? But anyway, yeah,
Seems fair.
So that was her first and last Traveling Jagr
No,
experience.
I mean,
Okay.
She eventually put the mullet on.
I'm
assuming.
a much harsher older brother. I'd be like, you're done. Sorry, bro. That's it.
This is why you and Paulie always get in fights, though.
tough love. That's all it is. That's what being the oldest
There's
sibling
always
is all
beef
about.
between you guys, so maybe bring back the tough love just a little bit, and there'll be
It was
less
all good
beef.
yesterday at the game or at the BP watch party. It's all good. I would be mad. I would be much harsher.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like,
That's just
you're
one
done.
Just one
Tara Sloan
instance.
didn't have any issue putting the mullet on.
Right?
No.
Yeah, that was good. That was good times there
Yeah.
in Calgary.
So how much have you guys traveled with this?
I was thinking about that. We've been to about like attended 24 games. Okay, like total with all of us at it. You know, we've gone to different.
How many? How many are you at right now? Like
How many Jagrs?
Yeah.
Or how? Okay, so like I have a.
do you guys have like one for like everyone?
Yeah.
Well, so I'm Ranger Yogs. It's just
Yeah.
there's certain guys that are kind of defined as that guy. Okay, like Josh Hood was the original guy that wearing the Pittsburgh Jagrs, but like I don't know what happened. He just went to the minors a little bit there, and
Well,
we had to sign.
he's still home. He's still home Yogs in the whites or away
Yeah, so
Yogs
again,
now.
home and away. Like
Yeah.
you can go to different wells. Too many Jagrs. There's a lot of when you make shit
I
up.
took over for Warren.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So yeah, and I right now
How many games?
I brought a kit. So what's really interchangeable is Philly Yogs.
Yeah.
Okay. So it
Why
always
is
seems
this?
it always
He's your fourth line.
It, it always seems like we're always interchanging Philly Yogs. Like over the years, like it's been about 12 years, right? And Jagger's still playing.
I know, isn't that incredible?
It's the longevity, and every year we're just like, oh, when's it over? It's never over, man.
Until he says it's over.
No, it's not. I mean, we're going to Prague. We're going to Prague Friday.
That's going to be amazing.
Can't wait.
Via the inbox. I can't believe
I'm
Thank
sure.
God they can send us photos now in our new inbox. Calgary Glen. Saw them back in 2016 in Calgary with the photo.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
There's
there.
Trev.
Oh, wait. There we go.
So this is Trev, the Dallas Yog. That's modern Yogs. Okay, so he's our.
Oh, he's a big guy.
Yes, he is, and he's kind of like our. Without him, we kind of.
Beauty.
It's a team. Okay. So
Okay.
you asked how many guys. I bet you there's been about 30 different guys that are like
At
have
some
game,
point, at
like
some
if
point.
a lot of games played. I'd like to call it.
Yeah.
So like Trev leads in games played for sure. Like I missed a New York trip over a family issue,
And the last time we went to
and then you guys,
Yep.
that was a Rammy trip. That
That
was,
was very short notice.
very short notice.
How do you recruit guys for this?
Yeah.
Like, how
What-
did you
like-
grow the stable of Jagrs?
There has to be some prerequisites
there's,
here.
People have been cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've told me about this.
Well, it's
Pittsburgh
like,
Yogs.
there's got to be a certain level of commitment, certain do you guys mention rules? There's got to be certain things
Yeah.
that need to be followed, but like also how do you convince people to come do this?
Well, attendance is a big thing, right? If
Well, you can't be the traveling Jagrs if you don't want to go.
Yeah, you can't.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of trips to Florida. We've been to Boston and Philly. Like we've met so many people from it, and yeah. What is the Hey, this one is more. We're going over to play, so you almost have to have this, be able to skate.
That's kind of important.
Oh, yeah.
That one's going to be a little important.
Yeah, we're playing against 4 different teams. So as we're going as the traveling Jagrs, okay? So we're all going to be in dark, like we are, playing against another team. It's like what?
Pass it to Yogs. Hey, Yogs. Pass it to me.
Would it be organized as, hey, can you send me a list of what numbers you guys are? I'm like,
Okay.
we're all 68, man. Like, really?
It's going to be 68 from 68 to 68.
Oh yeah.
68 is going to put up a lot of
Greatest-
points in that one.
Greatest goal ever.
Oh, my goodness.
We want to get to your guys' trip to Prague right away here, though. But how much fun is it being in the seats with people around you? How much fun do they have with you guys? Or have you had issues being in the seats with them?
You know what? We haven't had every barn we're in. We're not against their team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah, yeah.
So we're in their barn, but we're not rooting against our team because we're only cheering for Jagr. Like all the other shifts are AHL shifts. It's right into like we're waiting for him to get on the ice, wondering why
Everything
he's not
else
out
doesn't
there, why they're playing another guy over him.
Do you guys have chance or anything like that?
Chance,
We got our little yogs.
yeah.
What was
More
that?
of a team build up
Yeah.
for when we're getting more like a team huddle.
It's like the
you
music,
know,
musical like warm up for the vocal cords.
Start
You
off
guys
very
just go
soft
yucks,
and then,
yucks,
and
yucks.
then get louder, and then break, and then we go.
I respect that very much.
Got to get into game mode. Everyone has their pregame routine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
And I
have to have a
guess,
pregame routine.
Yeah, our pregame routine was we never missed a warm ups. Okay, so
Okay.
one thing that when we first
Oh.
started, when it was like the 8 of us, the very first, and it was. See, I'm still in the same jersey I was in, but like a lot, like Trav.
I love that jersey,
Trav.
like how red,
Oh
like,
yes, it's
the
it's got-
fabric of it and everything.
I haven't washed.
Wow.
That
I haven't
stain
washed
is
this
from
in
about
10 years.
2013, yeah.
Like all these guys wash their jerseys. I just don't know. Like it's got to be game worn, right?
This jersey has seen some things. I can tell. It has. Seen,
They don't
the
make them that
socks-
way anymore.
The
So we
socks
go
have
to
seen
warm
some-
ups, and we the rule was you sit down until Yogs gets out there, and he's always the last guy out there every time. So there's no reacting. Just sit down, shut up, wait
So
for
it's-
Yogs. to get-
it's like-
and Yogs will come out, and he'll have 7 sticks in his hand, right? 7, 8, like. And he puts him on the bench, and we're just yelling at him the whole time.
That one.
Got him on Yogs, and then as soon as he leaves the ice, we leave. So then wherever we're sitting,
We're not
like,
cheering for
we've been
Panthers.
sitting at the roof, right? Like in Edmonton, we're in the nosebleeds. You know, Jagr goes on a breakaway in Edmonton and scores, and we stand up in front of this Oiler fan, and he's just like pissed off. I'm like, hey man, like
Our
He's
guys.
53 years
of all-
old.
That was a beauty goal.
Yeah.
it was kind of
remember that
it was
goal.
greasy. It was definitely greasy,
Yeah,
but
it was a
It
goal.
was in.
It went in.
It
Yeah.
was in. It triggered a trip from Edmonton to Vancouver. If Jagr scores today, we're going to Vancouver. 4 of us drove to Vancouver.
Jeez.
So we, yeah.
Well, if there's anyone to cheer for though, like if you're you're an Oiler fan, and if someone scores on you, and it's Jagr, like there's got to be a
You
little-
respect
That's
that.
right.
You're
Like,
like, okay,
it's Jagr.
It's Jagr. Like you just watched the
that
legend.
sucks. I'm a little annoyed.
Yeah.
Okay, that went in.
Yeah.
Blank, whoever the goalie was at the time, make the darn save, whatever. But also Jagr, I got to see a Jagr goal. Like, oh yeah, nice, yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. And for a bit there, when we first started going, like they would lose. He wouldn't get any points in these games. Like off the start, there was kind of this. Okay, so when we went to Philadelphia, actually, the night before, he played the night before, and we heard he was hurt, and we were traveling there to like, he might not even play. You know, here we are in the airport going there. We got all of our kits and all. I got one for it, like a Philly kit. We'll get one in.
I think Iwanyk would look great.
No, we'll get you dressed up here in
Iwanyk,
5,
you'd be
10 minutes.
Great
okay?
honorary member of the Traveling Jagrs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we go to just like mullet, like missing a mullet, you know, a lot of just different little fights that we had, like just internally,
Yeah.
just to get to the rink, like just.
well, you're
to-
traveling with a
you
bunch
got
of people. There's always issues with
9 guys, right?
Cat
Trying
herding.
to work. Yes, cat herding.
Yeah.
I'll ask you guys this: as this is growing, because it is a popular thing, you see it pop up whenever. There's the Jagr guys. That's great. Has there been help in getting you guys into games as this has picked up,
Well-
or it did pick up in popularity?
Well, all of the NHL teams have been really good, no matter
Okay.
where we went. Except, okay, so when we first went to Philadelphia, there's a TSN crew there with us. And then we took a train to Boston, and we just tried to walk in the door, right? We didn't have tickets. We're just thinking that we were something, and we were nothing, right? It's like, the lady I'm like, yeah, we're here. Like,
In
but that was
Boston.
early on. That was
Yeah,
right
yeah.
after the Boston bombings, right?
Oh,
and so
shoot,
it was
yeah.
like very
high security, all
high
that.
Yeah,
security, and so all the teams, like Florida, we've been in the owner's box in Florida,
Wow, okay.
Calgary and Edmonton, both. I mean, Edmonton was Pat Garland. I don't know if you know
Patty G, yeah.
yeah, he's one of my friends from college, right? So he got us into like go watch pregame skate and watching Jagr, and at the end, you know, with the New Jersey Devils and doing these different like one-timer drills that. Yeah, and even Jagr himself, like I've been back behind, like not when I first met him, because we were traveling Jagr thing a couple of years, and then Pat got us backstage with the Oilers and like just watching their pregame skate, and all the Philly guys or sorry, that might have been when Philly, all the Philly guys
at Rexall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was that
remember
Rexall?
one. Yeah.
So Jagr's in the hall, like everyone's going to the bus, and Jagr's in the hallway doing sprints with bungee cords, like in between pregame. And I yelled at him. I'm like, "Hey, Hugs!" And then, just like we would yell. And I brought him over, and I just introduced myself. I'm like, "Just listen, man. We're doing this. We're not gonna bug you. We're not gonna like." So we've had communication there. With just, I mean, I'm dressed as Yogs. I'm a little bit biased right now, but we're not nuts.
For the
let's
record.
just get that out there. They're not crazy.
That's right. Yeah, for the record.
Like we're hockey.
I like the full disclaimer ahead of time. I know what I look like right now. I know I'm not nuts.
when the mullets come off, we're just regular Joes.
Well, that's the thing. Like
Tommy knows.
without
know.
it. Yeah. Anyway,
Meet text in via the text line 780-218-9999. You can get in on the nasty chat if you're watching on YouTube. Meet
Nasty
says,
chat?
I might have missed this. It's the nasty chat.
Oh, interesting.
Pittsburgh Yogs, yeah.
All right.
But have the Yogs met real Jagr? You kind of touched
Yeah.
on
many
that a little
times.
bit, but there's a relationship there now, right?
yeah. So when I was talking about that meetup there, we went down to Florida, and like the owners of Florida, they got us back down there. His girlfriend at the time.
At the time.
Yeah, was
Former
really
Miss,
she
Czech
was
Republic,
sitting with
Veronica.
us. And,
Not a surprise.
Yeah. She was definitely
so we
no
met him
less than
down
a 10.
there. Trev and you guys went to Clodno and had
we hung out in the owner's box there
Yeah.
with him after the game.
Wow.
After every game, actually. It was great.
yeah.
Got some merch.
So again,
picks.
the one thing about Jagr is that he is a god in the Czech, right?
Well, as he should be.
As he should be. So
Yeah.
it's not for him to see fans kind of not crazy. Let's not call it that. But when
Fanaticals.
every town or every place he played in, there's 150 people that are crazy for him too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so anyway. Again, every arena we've been in, it's all just interactions with fans.
Yep.
Because fans want to have fun, and it's just a different. It's not the game. It's just something different.
Right.
Right. It's
It's not a hockey atmosphere that you're getting when you guys roll in.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's not just what you're expecting to be at a game. You guys are there now, like bringing a fun and a party in a sense.
100%.
And,
Yeah.
like,
100%.
here in Edmonton, especially, like that's not happening really.
As
most
you guys
games.
know. Yeah. As you guys
But
know.
whenever we went to
lately.
Edmonton, it was always fun. Like again,
Who doesn't
so
see you
that-
guys and smile? Like that'd
Yeah.
be the thing. Like
Yeah.
it'd be hard. Like I kind of
And
want to
then,
meet
and
that
then ask for
person.
another picture.
Exactly. I want to see that person and be
One
like,
more.
oh, these guys are here tonight. Great. Like
No, that's
Like, who's gonna
definitely
do
not
that?
the sentiment. No.
Yeah.
Okay, now we asked about like the different arenas. I remember after a game when you guys were here in Edmonton, Gene and Mark from Sportsnet were telling the story of how they had you guys on, and they're like, yeah, and they wanted a round of beers, and Spec's like, I paid for the round of beers. Can you tell the story of like how that came to be, because nobody knew what to do with the bill, so Spec just took it.
Well,
And then he
that was
expended.
nice of him to do that.
Well, who ordered?
Thanks, Beck.
I could see you being the one. We'll take a round of beers. Yeah, we need 12.
I might have initiated that.
Yeah.
Well, we Gene had us on the pregame in the Sportsnet in
the lounge, yeah.
at Rogers, and we did the intro there. It was great. Had a good time. Gene was even growing a mullet out at the time, so he fit right in with the boys. And afterwards we went over, and there was some post talk after the pregame set there. And I just said to the bartender, "Yeah, we'll take 11 beers for the Jagrs," and they bring them over, and I gave it. I did tip. So if Spec tipped as well too, then
Double tip. That's good. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just said, yeah, put it on the Sportsnet Boys tab. I figured that's our appearance fee, right?
It's the Sportsnet Club.
Like, we got to get something out of this.
Well,
What is sports
I
doing,
respect
right?
the hustle. Like, hell yeah. You guys just put in a shift and they're not getting free work out of you.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, how many more?
Sportsnet could cover that.
Exactly.
You know?
Come on. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
$120.
And you did the right thing. You left the tip.
Yeah.
That's what matters. That person got theirs, and you got yours, and Sportsnet paid for it.
I will say Spec thought it was funny too. Like he thought it was
Well,
hilarious.
the best was when, because about a week later or something like that, I was down in the Dominican.
Yeah.
And one of the guys posted it up on our chat group. The Hicks on 6 posted the story in it about how the Jagrs need their beer. And so it's just rolling over, because that's how I found out someone did actually pick up the tab, and we made the papers from it. So awesome.
Do you guys have a favorite trip that you've done so far with your Jagrs? Is there one that stands out for you guys?
I think the original Florida one was just like we're in
With
Florida. What we did was that we had a contest in Florida to find the next traveling Jagr, right? And like people came from all over these different parts, and this guy from Chicago came, Peter. Okay. He was a truck driver, and he comes on stage. He's like, "I am the Jagr," and he just like, it was just like they had to go on a runway or do like whatever, and we named him this Jagr, and we went down to the Florida Keys with this guy in his like motor, like we go in his cab, and it was Jagr everything, like just obsessed.
Wow.
Like a shrine.
Yeah. And so Florida be just the way, like we're just in the owner's box, just eating the jumbo shrimp, like yeah. And then and players came up after. I
Huberdeau.
put my arm around Huberdeau, and I'm like, "Hey man, get the
Barkey was there
get
too,
the
wasn't he?
Jagrs." Like
That's
you never leave character, man. Like you just yeah.
So when does character start, and then when does character end? Is it as soon as the mullet comes on? Is that like your Jagr at that point? Or
I mean,
I got dressed up this morning and started, like, my boys like, "What are you doing?" It's like,
time to go to work.
I think it's, you know what? It's time to go to work.
Daddy's got to work.
he's gonna be worrying about that all day. Jesus, what is going on? Are we in trouble?
Daddy wear a mullet to work now?
Oh my God.
No, we like Florida. We went twice, right?
Yeah, Florida's great.
See, Florida's great.
I have a differing
Sunrise.
opinion on that. We got a text that comes in with a photo.
Who's this one?
Says, Tyler from the Traveling Jagrs played pro hockey. I coached, managed him in senior hockey. We won a championship. He was really good.
Yeah,
Marty.
New York
Yeah.
Yogs, he knows how to. He
I
knows how to play.
actually, that's how kind of like that's when we did that first.
What were you, like 12 there?
First Jagr.
The first Jagr. I was on that. I was on a senior team. I still coach a senior team in Camrose right now.
Nice.
So
Nice. So a little love there. That's Marty who sent that in.
yeah, Marty
Yeah.
Laws.
Nice.
Okay,
Nice show.
Marty, thanks for the picture and the trip down memory lane. This you want to?
I was just gonna ask how you guys choose which Jagr you're
Yeah.
gonna be. Like, how
I
did that
haven't,
happen? Is it like you have to get your own jersey, or like how do you decide? How did you become
my
the
story,
Pens?
my story is longer.
And how did you become the Rangers?
Well, we ordered this jersey's from China, like a $40 China jersey. Like my cousin Trevor, Dallas Jagr, he's more authentic. Like he needs the pro jersey with like, I like the. So I'm Ranger Yogs. I don't know. You'd have to rip it off of me, right?
You just claimed it.
You've claimed it.
I just have been it, right?
You are a Ranger Jog.
So
If
it's just like
Strutty
from
walked
day
in
one.
right now,
He's the cap.
he'd be like, "Oh, hey, Yogs."
Yeah.
He's the
Like,
cap.
long time no see. Yeah.
So
Former teammate.
again,
Not just Yogs, Ranger Yogs.
Reds
Yeah,
worn the
Ranger
Pittsburgh Yogs. So then when we went down to Florida, every year too, he signed with a different
Yeah.
team. So we had to we had to name a new Yogs, right? So we do a mullet presentation. Again, we make it all up. So
And not crazy.
That's right.
yeah, like Ryan Sellers right now is Florida Yogs, and it's just the way it is. Devils Yogs, like Nick Golden, like we pick them up for the game. Like the guys are, when you first get into this, you got to go like put the shell on, put the sock. Like I don't want to do the socks, or, like, at the start, right? Like because people are embarrassed, they're shy, right? Once you get in the character and get the mullet on, you're fine.
But that's the great part, I think, about being in the group.
Yeah.
If you're just going by yourself or just you and one other, like I can see where that shine is. But if there's a bunch of you doing it together, like
You're all in.
you're sheltered in a group, and you guys are all having a good time. And at that point, really, who cares about the rest of the world? It's
100%.
about the Yogs in the stands and Yog on the ice.
Yeah.
I think people get it. Honestly, they must. Like obviously,
To build on the Florida Yogs with Ryan.
Yeah.
So that's how that I came up from the minor leagues that way.
Yes, that was
Because
your first game
subbed
played.
for Ryan as Florida Yogs here in Edmonton.
Yeah.
And
right.
at the time, Warren was dark Pittsburgh Yogs.
Right.
And,
Josh.
I think Josh was there as well too. But regardless of I always remembered you guys were yelling at Warren. Because he would just bugger off invariably. He would just walk off
check
during
Yogs.
during intermission when the idea is hey, everyone wants to get pictures with
but-
us and you're not here, you're not part of the team. Like what's going on? Man?
Someone's always hungry. I'm starving. So it's a group dynamic. You just kind of it's a team. Like you're
committed.
you're dressed. It's games played.
Well,
so you recognized the weakness and you pounced.
Well, I tried being a good rookie and buying beers for the boys, making sure that they were
Great rookie.
very well hydrated.
Yeah.
And I was there for all the pictures. And I remember when we were leaving Rexall there. Sorry, just walking under the LRT passing, and you guys are like, "Well, what do you think about Florida in a couple of months?" And I was like, sure, yeah, sounds great. I'm in. And I think the comment you made was something like, "Yeah, we're thinking of making some roster moves." So
I love the vernacular
and all that.
This is
Traveling Jagrs move. You gotta wait for noon for it to break.
so I got the call up, and it's been good times ever since.
And there's alterations. Like you can go home and away Yogs. You can go all-star Yogs, right? Western Conference Yogs. Right?
Oh, okay. Text slide. Okay, people are sending in pictures of you guys. This is Ranger.
Oh, this is that's in Florida.
That's in Florida. Yeah. Is that Is that Yager's wife?
That's not his current. That was his girlfriend at the time.
Oh my goodness.
That was the Florida trip.
You literally
right
are
after
wearing that
was
same
my first time.
uniform.
Oh yeah.
But are those
The
tackle-
Devils
No,
one is
see,
just
I-
so weird.
Those are new.
Different shell.
Yeah. I like the classic Capitals look.
yeah.
If you met him, you'd probably.
This
agree
is
with
very, very time sensitive to
Love
the
you, Nick.
uniforms worn by Yogs with those respective clubs, which I respect as well.
Yes, yeah. Trev was always he's always keen on making sure it's
Yeah.
It's
Again,
of the
Dallas Yogs. So who's Dallas
Dallas.
Yogs? Trev,
pardon me,
right? You know what I mean? Like there's another,
coach.
Coach, yeah, coach.
This is incredible. I love how people are just sending those in now to us. 780-218-9999. It doesn't even faze me anymore when Tyler comes downstairs dressed in Yoggers.
Is that your wife?
Well, that's that's my wife.
Oh, that's too good. Okay, let's talk. We got to talk about this upcoming trip.
Yes.
to Prague and playing in the tournament. Like, how did this come to be? It's not cheap going over there to herd these cats, as you put it. Give us the
So
background
the
and the
re-
reasoning.
So
always
these
been
guys
something
do a
to
so there's this other group of guys, the Remax hockey team.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll do a shout out to you, Ken. I know you're listening.
They go every year. They go on a trip to some other country and play for 2 weeks straight, and play exhibition games as Team Canada. And I went on the trip last year. I'm like, you guys do this every year? What a crock! I just couldn't. And they're like, we're going to Prague next year. It's like, this is our opportunity. Like, me and Trev kind of always talked about, like, let's go to Prague. I want to play hockey there, right? Like, and that's how the trip came about. We did the trip with the realtors. I had to like shade it down with like how much it, not as long, but I ended up booking 13 days anyway.
Well, but the hockey, we don't start playing until the 1st.
Right.
Yeah, but we're going over on Friday just so we can take in the game on Sunday in Clodno there. Martin just confirmed the tickets over there in Clodno for Sunday's game. So we just got to pick them up at Will Call there. So it's great.
How many guys are going on this trip?
13.
Yeah. Damn. I think only 8 are going to be able to.
No, there'll be 10. No, there'll be 10. There'll be 10.
Should I? Okay, I better. 10 for the game on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to get in.
I'll go back and
we're going to get in.
Make it 10.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
I love how this is evolving as we're going through the show.
Who are you guys playing over there? Like, who do you
So
guys...
we play this, it's a Div 4 team, they call it.
Okay.
Like, so it's, Div 3 guys are still getting paid, Div 4, and they asked if we wanted hitting. We're all in our 40s. We're not scared of it. We wouldn't be scared of it because how hard could they hit?
Well,
really?
yeah, touche.
Yeah. But,
I wouldn't be too worried about the hitting.
But just in case.
yeah. So we're funny. They might as well get a tattoo on my forehead. Do you have a goalie? Okay. Right? Like every aspect of my life is about like finding a goalie. We need a goalie tonight. Hey, do we have a anyway? So we don't have we don't have a signed up goalie right now. So we're using, the backup plan is to use the other team's other goalie.
Okay. Yeah.
Backup.
And now we got a guy in Ontario because Eric Francis did a shout out, like really good shout out to us on Sportsnet.
Saw that. Yeah. That was
And
awesome.
yeah, just kind of this narrative that we're too offensive, that we like this goalie's gonna get shelled, right?
It's all forwards.
So you get this.
Exactly.
So I've got these emails and I'm responding back, and there's a guy in Ontario right now that is confirmed to be coming with us. He's 30 years old. He's like, I've faced some OHL player shots. So like, I don't know.
That's got to be good for Div 4 in the check, I would think. Yeah, that's got to be good enough.
So anyway, we're
Hey,
doing
we
that
put up
shot.
a
Hey,
shooter
we're still-
tutor
hey,
right now if we needed to.
We're still looking though. We're still looking.
Oh, he's not officially like,
Well,
you're
he's
willing
like,
to...
He's got a He's like, I got to check about something about my passport. It's like, well, what do you got to check? Like, it's either good or it's not, right?
6 months.
So
It's valid or it's not.
Okay, Shanzi texted, says, stick to the bit, Jagrs. No goalie, no D, only 6 forwards, Shanzi.
Just an empty net, play it forward.
Just all
And all 6 of you cherry picking.
If it crosses the red line,
back checking.
yeah, go score.
You guys take
We'll
it.
see you for the face-off.
Yeah.
That's right.
You just line up. So many pictures coming in from your wife.
So okay, that's Boston. This is Calgary downtown at Sport Check.
Yeah.
When we so the Flames one, we tried to have like tryouts to be the Flames. So these guys are all in practice Flames jerseys.
Okay, I see.
So we're taking them around, and then we named one of them the Flame, then cut the other two.
Your wife wants to know if you're going to retire when Jagr does.
Yeah.
Oh, he hasn't retired?
Yeah.
I know.
That's
I
our
know
last
he
game.
hasn't, but
That's
when
our last
he does,
game, Hall of Fame game.
that's it. That'll be it.
What-
That's
Oh,
just one
yeah,
more.
you'd have to go to the Hall of Fame.
Right.
We're going to the Hall of Fame induction for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can't go
But he
this
hasn't
long.
retired.
Yeah.
Does it matter that she put fingers crossed emoji? This is your wife.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's hilarious.
At any point, do you think it would go this long?
No, I mean,
I figured
Man,
for sure he'd be retired.
drove
by
into
now.
Edmonton dressed as Jagr today, right? Did I think it'd go this long? Like, it's crazy, right? It's awesome.
machine.
It's totally awesome. It's never over. Why would it be over, right? We're going to Prague. It's the Hall of Fame. He hasn't retired yet.
But that's the thing.
Like, why would we stop?
Until he does. After
respect
that, we'd
that
just
very
be
much.
like the Hanson brothers or something.
Nothing's
Yeah.
really gone wrong too, right? Like we're having a couple pops at the games late, and like you never know. We just never really got in trouble or anything. Not that we're doing anything.
No one's been
bad.
arrested.
No.
Yeah,
But like,
a couple guys have been buckled at the games for sure.
well, you got a hockey
A
game.
couple guys get the tap.
We
like,
may have been
hey, you're out of
asked
here.
to leave the building.
when the Flames, a couple guys got the tap. Like they couldn't go downstairs to go for this little meeting. Like,
Oh,
That sucks.
Yeah.
Did they just go, do you know who I am?
no, there's again.
That's too bad.
They're kind of those
Yogs.
fringe,
Oh,
call
so you
up
guys were okay to let them.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys in a bit.
Yeah.
I
rookie
like it.
mistake on their
Rookie
part.
mistake.
Fourth
yeah.
liners.
They didn't plan it properly.
AHL shift.
They see the pine. They don't need to go back out on the ice.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's their fault. We'll just stick with the big guns
It would have been
and
better
skate
if
them forward.
they kept their mouth shut and just wore the jersey. But couple of drinks sometimes they get a little out of control.
I like how there's this turmoil within the, I'm going to call it, team.
There's no
No turmoil.
No
Just-
turmoil? It just, okay.
just-
Drama?
It sounds like it's like a regular team. That there's 20, or hockey team has 20 some guys. There's always
all
going to be
you're really
at
doing
times you
in
can have a
hockey
moment.
is you're beaking the guys that aren't coming.
Yeah,
Right?
they're not going.
Like, what? They're cut. Like it's easy to go, hey, they're cut after that, right? Because they're not coming.
They couldn't make the
to Florida and
or they're getting benched. One or the other.
when you're not performing, something has to happen.
That's right.
You can't just keep seeing the ice time.
Yep.
Unless you're Evan Bouchard. I guess to just keep seeing the ice time.
Oh boy.
Just had to fill that one out there.
There it is. Slide that in there, huh? Get that in there,
did,
Matthew. Well
I
done.
didn't look at the stats, but it sounded like he was on a lot of goals for and a lot of goals against.
Oh, Matty, he was dash 3 last night.
I will see if I can
3-point
quickly
night.
find
Huge
what he's on
dash
pace
4.
for this year.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was not a pretty night. Not a pretty
No,
night.
From Bruce McCurdy, just quickly on Evan
okay. Our
Bouchard.
buddy Bruce.
Yesterday, he had 3 points and was -3.
Right.
He's on pace for 109 points this season. He's also on pace for -109.
That's balance.
Thanks again, Bruce McCurdy, for
Bruce
that
with that
stat
one.
there.
Hey,
So, yeah,
Bruce.
it's
He could play defense for us.
Yeah.
Defense.
but that's the point. You just put him on. He's a forward. He's a full forward for you guys, and you see how he plays as a forward. Because
Yeah.
I'd rather see you guys play defense a little bit right now.
Oh boy. Okay. One other thing about the trip. Is this in honor of one of your
Yes,
dogs? That's an
Dallas
important
Yogs.
part of this,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, 100%.
Can we tell that story if that's okay?
Dallas Yogs, he's kind of been battling some stage 4 cancer stuff. There was this glimmer of hope that he could come on this trip, but it's just too much with flight, and so it's in his honor. Like, hey, this is all because of him, right? So no one's wearing the Dallas Jagr jersey. Again, it's not that like it's a thing, right? It's upsetting and it's hard to talk about, really, but. It's all in his honor. This is all without him. We don't get to have fun like this,
Right.
So
Yeah.
it sucks. We're gonna have fun with it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's this whole thing is a Seinfeld joke. The whole time it's a lot of just
And
like
it snowballed,
it's,
obviously.
It's just like even Trev, I'll talk about it. He's like, we got to do it like this. I'm like, man. Why do we have to do it like that? We just made this up. Like there's no guidelines saying that we have to go there before
the book
this.
Of Traveling Jagrs states.
Yeah.
There's no traveling Jagrs constitution.
But there's no traveling Jagrs without Trev, and that's
We should have maybe. Do you have your phone with you? We should message forward the sticker we got.
Oh yeah,
made up.
no, I can get it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll put something on the helmet just as
Yeah.
a tribute. So
Very
yeah.
cool.
yeah, it'll be good. It'll be great.
Very cool. So you'll be seeing the Yogs when you're in Kladno.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's giving you like the royal treatment.
We don't need the royal treatment.
No?
We're just say we get to interact with the Prague fan. We get to go to the
But
Kladno
it's-
and just again, it's
If he's a star there,
It's-
they're
it's-
gonna love you
it's
guys.
next
Like, it's
level
gonna
stuff.
be right.
yeah. So we're going on the 29th, right when we get there. So
Yeah, it'll be,
Yeah, we
it'll
might
be
see
fun.
them there. And if we don't,
What I love about the games over there, and I really hope that NHL rinks adopt it, and you see a few other rinks that they get different chants going. Like I'm a Oilers season seat holder, and I'm sorry, the "Let's Go Oilers" chant is just we need something new, and that's what I really enjoyed about the game in Clodno. It's like they've got chant like all sorts of. It's like a soccer match, a foot, or a footy match, where they got all sorts of different chants, and it's just guys are banging away on the drum, and just it's unreal how many different chants that they have, and I'm hoping that the creative juices will come out while I'm on that trip, and maybe try and inspire the Oilers or the Oiler fan base at least with a new chant, because I think we need something new.
Where are you guys at with the wave and the timing of it? This was a big issue on the pregame show last night.
If you're not entertained but what's on the ice, then okay, I guess do the wave. But
What about the timing? Like when you're up a goal, trying to protect the lead, and the wave pops up.
Do you think the wave has an impact on the
Yeah,
game?
that's what's coming up.
but like in a. It
From
could
a
go
player's
either,
perspective?
but it could
Well,
go
like,
either way though.
Well, I know, but it's just like, and that's where we were having this
We were
chat a
talking
little
about
bit
it
yesterday. There's people out there that think because the wave happened, bad things happened to the Oilers. They
Yeah.
lost that game and McDavid got hurt
Yeah.
Oh,
because the wave started.
jinx.
Bad
Yeah,
things.
the
Like,
wave
it's a
jinx.
jinx.
The
in a
bad
large-
omen, bad
when you
juju.
start doing a wave and it's a close game, either you're gonna lose that game or they're gonna tie the game and you're gonna lose, or like bad things happen to the teams that start the wave. And I think that is just weird, and I don't think that's how it has any impact on the game. But also, you could point to a lot of moments where, okay, the wave happens and terrible things came after it.
it is unlucky to be superstitious,
It's a good way of looking at that. Yeah. So you guys don't have superstitions?
No.
Well, no, we're always there. Like warm up is
Yeah,
I guess that-
I mean,
that
that's
is
just
that-
that's,
like-
just
that's
part of
more
the job.
routine.
Yeah, that's
That's
routine.
routine.
Not yeah.
superstition.
That's game time. Like that's like they're on the ice ready to go for puck drop. You're there ready to go for warm ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's not ready to go if you guys aren't there, right?
It's not like we control Yogs.
And that's people, but people think the wave controls the game, the outcome of the game, and that's the thing where it's
Yeah.
really, and that's after the not the Minnesota game, but the game on Saturday. Was it Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah, Winnipeg.
That was the Winnipeg
That was
game.
it.
That's
Happens
when-
and things happen, and it became a huge talking point of people blaming that for the loss, which is I find wonderful.
Well,
Because it's such a weird
that's
discussion.
why we get to do what we get to
Yeah,
do.
exactly. Yeah.
Sheldon, not in a white garbage truck, Texan, says you guys should get a life-size cutout of Trev in Dallas Yogs dress and bring it on the trip. That'd be tough in the luggage and stowing it and all that, but
Yeah,
that'd be
but
cool.
like that cardboard Tiger
The Tiger
Woods
Woods,
there,
same
right?
thing, yeah.
I forgot. Yeah.
And then Lance
If we got a printing company out there that can do one pretty fast.
Hey. This one's
guys
for
got any
you,
sponsors?
Pittsburgh
I'm
Yogs.
trying to think where we got that one from.
Uh-oh.
Because that's
What
from the
chant
old station.
would you recommend?
Oh, that I gotta. That's what I'm saying. Like I want to be inspired by something, and because that was the one takeaway that I took the last time I was in Prague, or Kladno, sorry, and just the different chants. And I was like, this is great. Like it's so much better than going to a game back home, just from that fan experience side of things, and especially when there was like maybe 4,000. I think they only can get about 4,000 people in that barn in Kladno. And it's just that makes that much more exciting. So yeah, I hope like I said, I'm hoping to be inspired with something, so I don't have anything off the top of my head.
Beer
right now.
in both hands while you're chanting, and then something hits in your mind. You put it down. You take out a notepad.
Yeah,
And you
exactly.
start getting creative. Is what's
Always
gonna
wait it down,
happen.
otherwise you'll forget.
That's right.
That's the
right.
key.
Especially when you're a few
Text
deep.
it to yourself or
We
something.
can I was gonna say it might be a text or
Just like record them when they're doing one of these
Yes,
crazy
yes.
Oh,
chants.
that's a
Do they
smart
have
one.
the
We can-
flags too? In Kladno? You see that in soccer.
Man, that was 5 years ago, and the memory was a little hazy. So I'm gonna say no, but it's probably possible.
Okay.
They just take songs that are like well known and write songs to that.
And the other problem
That's how it
is that
works, and it's wonderful.
It was in Czech too, so like I
You didn't understand what they were saying.
How is your guys' Czech, by the way? Has anyone been brushing up on their Czech? No, probably not. Laddie Schmid School of Czech.
Anyone got a Babbel Babbel app that they could send us?
Maddie can find you one, no problem.
I got this feeling we're gonna like when we get there, we're gonna sign up a couple might have a couple little tryouts. We have 13.
Maybe that's where you find your goalie.
No, hey, we're not scared to like go there with no goalie. Okay.
I sense that confidence is coming through. You're exuding it.
We will go six.
We'll find somebody. You know, it would have just been nice to have at least one. Again, we have a guy in Ontario, Eric. Right?
He just doesn't know about the passport.
He's not sure about the passport.
His resume looked pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got to book that flight as soon as the flight's booked.
That's kind of important too.
Yeah.
Passport and a flight are
Get
really
the flight
important.
book. You can say you're in. Get the flight book.
And a set of pads.
Yeah.
Goalie
But
odds.
even then, you could try to grab some from there. You know, like it.
Yeah.
Getting there is pretty important to all of this. If you're going to be part of it, that's a key thing to finish. But you're going to do then tryouts just to have like European based.
You know what? We're gonna be in that Kladno rink. We're gonna get in some conversations with different hockey entities. We're gonna find a goalie. You know, there's just way too many players around there. There's way too many. Anyway, I feel I'm confident in it.
And how many games are you guys playing then?
4.
Hey, like this isn't cheap either. You guys are traveling around. You guys are going to different arenas. There's a bunch of you. Do you guys like fundraise for this, or is it all straight out of your pocket? How do you guys try to make it work
we
financially?
Basically, pay. The NHL teams are really good to us. They, you know, in Florida they get you in there, but I mean, flights aren't $500. You know,
Especially when you're flying from Canada.
It's generally our own dime.
Yeah.
yeah.
You guys are funding it. This is a labor of love,
are not-
basically.
yeah.
It's evolved over time.
Yeah.
Your wife loves it, obviously.
Oh no.
Son is confused by it.
Daddy, what are you...
It's funny. I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna go for a week, and then they book the flight. It's 13 days.
So is it all the same city? Are you guys going to do a
Yeah,
little
we're just
traveling
staying.
there or
Well,
whatever?
we're staying in Prague for the 13 days, and it's downtown Prague. We'll figure out how to.
Trip to what's
Oh,
the name of the
sorry.
small
Yeah,
town?
no.
Ulimbek, or I can't even
Pardon me.
pronounce it.
We get on a bus and we
we got
hotel at the away games on the 2nd and 3rd.
Oh, there's away games to this.
Yeah. Then we got
I love that.
I just the terminology
Outside
is
of
so
Prague.
spot on.
they're all away games,
Yeah.
I guess. But we do. Yeah, we got those 2 games out, and I can't even pronounce it. Ulimbek or something to that effect. But yeah,
I barely looked at where we're playing. You know, just we're going.
when's the bus leaving?
You'll figure it out when you're there.
Yeah.
And all these teams host you after too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's good.
So these are club teams, basically.
Yeah.
So they're just looking for Canadian competition to practice, or you know.
Well, I think the travel agent's got some connections with a few guys over there, and then he just kind of says, "Hey, here's kind of the level of these guys. Would you be interested in having a match?" And then they just kind of he sets it all up. He organizes all that behind the scenes, and we just basically have to bring our hockey gear and our suitcase and get on a plane and get over there and throw it on the bus and say, "Okay, where are we going?" And the travel agent Mike Moore does a fantastic job there for us in terms of setting it all up.
What kind of team are we as Traveling Jagrs? You see this? I feel like I'm a part of it right now. What kind of
you're
players
part of
do
the
we
get
have?
out.
You're
No,
playing for
Matthew's
them.
way
You're
that-
playing for them, eh, Tommy?
Yeah, this is a team that I can be a part of.
Oh,
This is-
we going with a we.
Yeah, what kind of team are we?
You get to wear that.
On Traveling
that on.
Jagrs? Maybe
I'll
I
do it.
will.
Yeah.
Like,
we're
what's our
very-
range of
we're-
players? Because
okay,
you
so I
played some pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back
And
2008.
I'm a plug.
So we got a lot of. We
a
don't have
great
enough.
one.
Where'd you play?
We don't have enough outlets for all these plugs. I played in Columbus, Georgia, for 3 years in
Really?
the SPHL. Awesome. But that's back in 2008. But I've been playing quite a bit of hockey for the last 10 years. There's shinny and Camrose every noon. I coach a senior team right now. So I'm of all the, I play more than all these guys, right? But my cousin Terry's coming. Okay, so Terry hasn't been on skates in 3 years, but Terry's, he's an athlete, right?
Oh, he'll figure it out.
You bring him the slow pitch, and he'll figure it out. Right?
Give him just a couple of minutes, and he'll be skating around, and he will be Jagr on the ice.
We're really good in the first 5 minutes of the first, like really good.
Solid.
There's gonna be some guys breathing heavy on our bench. For sure.
You guys go.
Can we get a request for some oxygen on the bench?
Coffee on the bus in the mornings, beer as soon as the game's over, and you're getting back to
But a lot of get it to Yogs. Get it to Yogs. Like just
lots of chatter.
Yogs.
Yeah, I'm open, Yogs.
Do you guys play it all here?
What's that?
Had you guys play it all like together here? Or?
We had a
Or just like-
What we do is scrimmage.
we had a scrimmage down at COP in Calgary there. So we played against. So this other realtor team is going over to Prague too. Playing like some older players than we're playing. Okay, so we're gonna be meeting up in Claude. Like, there's a big crew of guys.
Yeah, there's a
over
little
there.
overlapping that's going on.
Okay.
And then a couple of us are then going and joining the Remax guys for the rest of their trip as well too. So yeah, it'll be quite the trip.
All I've heard is Europe is amazing. So and this is just
How have you
taking it
not
to that
gone?
next
You have a
level or
European
something.
passport.
I know. Well, I was supposed to go, and then COVID hit, and now I haven't
That's
figured
an
out a way to
excuse. I
get
went
there. and
traveling
it's-
during COVID.
Well, this was like where I had a ticket to the Euros. A match
was gonna be in
Rome,
Rome.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
I got a ticket to the Euros,
man,
and
that would have been awesome.
so yeah, then they shortened capacity and all that. So like, well, I'll come back later, and I just have to do it.
Yeah,
I
still
just
there.
gotta go. I just gotta go.
Do it.
I'll do
Do
it.
it, Matthew. All
I'll
right.
gladly put on the gear.
So this I feel like it's you're
gotta
bestowing
talk a little more.
you're bestowing an honor on Matthew
Yeah.
right now because not everyone gets to be a traveling
Sometimes,
Yogs.
Again, I didn't bring a fanny pack, but it is key to have pockets.
Yeah.
I will just go over top of your jeans. So this
Okay.
is an old job. You need
All right.
the garter belt.
So
I took the can out.
you guys do have to wear a can.
Well,
I'll-
no, you have to hold your socks up.
Okay, so for those that are listening to our audio stream,
There we go.
Maddie's wearing on putting a jock
As
on.
I said earlier, Philly Yogs is really interchangeable.
Oh, so this is a tryout basically.
Wow.
I was gonna go on the jeans. Oh, that's fine.
Oh, that's fine.
That's good.
There we go, Matt. Okay, this is
Flyers, baby.
Flyers Yogs, Philly
Do
Yogs.
I need a clip?
Yeah, you got to clip that on.
Yeah.
Get your socks on. It's only 114 degrees in this studio right now,
Yeah, it's
so
really hot.
I know what the hell's going on in
wait
here.
till you get the mullet on.
Maddie, you played hockey at some point in your life,
Yeah, a
right?
while ago.
Okay.
I haven't
And don't
pushed
worry
stuff
about
up.
that right now.
I'll figure that
Okay, yeah. All right, so we got the shell going on now.
Show.
I got a shell there
This
for
will be
you.
good.
There you go. Cinch that
My
up.
old senior team. There is my old senior team shell there.
Nice.
Big on me.
Yeah.
Is that a boys' medium? Okay. He's got the jersey on.
That's
That's the
huge.
moment.
That's great. Oh, now this is big.
Yeah.
This is big.
Wait, I have to document
You wanna
this.
document
Yeah, I
this?
have to
Really
document
good.
this.
While it's about to go
Okay, hang on. Let me get Maddie's about to put the mullet on. I'm getting the camera. I can hear Lieutenant Eric. He's loving this. All right, buddy, go for it. Yeah. Oh, there's YouTube Trav. We're documenting this.
Look at that.
He's a traveling Yog. There you go, right in front of the camera.
Welcome to the team, bud.
There you go.
Thank you, sir. There you go. So I'm Philly Yogs.
You're Philly
Yeah.
I'm
Yogs.
Philly Yogs
Welcome.
right now.
Welcome.
Tommy, I left my phone over there, so you got to watch the chats and all
I'm
that. right
watching
now.
the chat. All
Is
good.
Yogs playing tonight?
Which one?
Yogs is in. Yogs is in. Yogs is in. I gotta go the Wii now. You can't.
You can use the Wii. I've lost that honor.
Great. Oh, this is a great Flyers jersey too.
How do you feel, Matthew? I mean, how do you feel, Philly Yogs?
Thank you. I'm gonna have to change name.
You look amazing.
I feel like probably how Jagr feels,
Yeah.
which is just. Let's get that there. It's just.
I
feel
For
magnificent.
the pictures,
It's wonderful.
We
Is
always
it a
have to-
salute?
Yeah.
The salute?
have to have the
Salute.
Yeah.
It's the hair feels good.
Yeah.
It's gotten. I don't think I've ever really rocked the flow. So this will be nice, and I'm ready to go. I'm going to book my trip.
Let's go.
That's
There's still
Dusty,
time.
I'm taking time off.
There's still time.
Yeah, we could use. It'd be great if we could go 13-6.
Oh, that would be great. Maddie, what were, pardon me, Philly
Yogs.
Or 12-6.
Let me get this
Math
right.
Is hard. Math is hard.
Philly Yogs.
What are
12-6.
we? What position would we play if we went over to Clodno, Philly Yogs?
Well, I'm Jagr. I'm a forward.
Okay.
I go and I
Good
score
answer.
goals.
Good
That's
answer.
what are we doing here? I'm number 68.
That's right.
Pass it to Yogs.
Yogs will pass
Do
to
you know
Yogs.
Jagr doesn't have one fighting major in his career?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Fun fact.
It'd be great
Fun
if
fact,
he did
like,
get his first
because
one with you
isn't
guys
that-
there.
I would think like in the 90s, you would think that maybe there was a time where
Or someone just
Somebody just
someone
drop a
jumps
glove or
ya.
something,
Someone,
right?
Not
Gets
one.
Gets
not
their
one.
head out of shape. Yep.
that's so like no Gordie Howe hat trick then for him or anything like
No.
that.
No.
Okay, we were talking about this before you guys came on and stuff. We were talking about how Jagr.
I'm sorry. You look so ridiculous. I need to take a picture.
What
Wait, what?
ridiculous?
Whoa,
That's like
whoa,
that's insulting to
Sitting
all.
right here.
Like, jeez.
Oh no, you guys look great. He looks ridiculous. What is going on? You guys
here?
look amazing.
Like you're gonna
Philly Yogs,
saying,
different
wow.
story. Yeah,
There's,
yeah.
Wow.
there's 3 Jagrs to 1
No,
Gazzola.
Pittsburgh and yeah, no.
Well,
I
You
know,
go,
I'm the odd
you
man
go
out
tell the
here.
people of Philadelphia that Philadelphia is trash.
Oh, Philly.
Get
fans.
Jack Michaels in on that. He'll tell
Philly
them.
fans are very angry.
Yes.
Oh yes.
But they were good with us. They were, man, they weren't even in a playoff spot. Those fans were just mad at their team, but they were.
They throw batteries on the field at their football players.
They get it.
They're insane.
They get it.
Those ones are crazy. Those people are crazy.
Passionate.
But they booed Santa.
Whoa. That's a little offside.
We're talking about Jagr and how just the top 10, like some people, like it feels like he's not discussed enough about being a top 10 player all time in the National Hockey League and why that might
Ridiculous.
Well, the one he's not done playing, so it's tough to gauge that.
Well, for
too.
NHL, like-
long, yeah, but long, yeah.
be. You
but
think his longevity
So
helps
hold
him
on
right
for
now?
NHL though too.
Yeah.
Why couldn't a team take a fly like the Pittsburgh Penguins? Why couldn't they sign him to a min contract and have him in their lineup
Right
And
now?
or at some point? Like why? If he's still playing and the longevity and like Gordie Howe playing till like, then we're talking Gordie Howe when we're talking about top players ever.
How old was
and-
Gordy when he played his last game?
Oh, like 50 something. He
Yeah.
played for or 60. He was like with
Why?
the Detroit Vipers one
Yeah,
game.
because what's he to play with his son?
no,
why-
different
Played
league.
six
Different league.
different
But
six different decades he played in too.
And it's
Yeah.
not like he's gonna come into the game and he's not gonna. He'd be okay, right? He still plays if he's
his
in
hockey
shape.
sense is, still there.
Yeah.
I think
There's
good point.
Why couldn't you sign him to a min contract at the end? Like, I don't know.
Well, I guess if for nowadays, I think if you're a team, if you're going to sign someone to in, you'd want someone who's maybe a little more younger that you can maybe develop.
Right.
And that you have
play him
long
2
term
minutes
is a little
game,
longer and
but
you're
you
doing
play
that.
him 2 minutes
Yeah.
a game. He comes up.
But would Jagr wouldn't want to play 2 minutes
Yeah,
a game?
but I mean,
Like, he's better than
as the
that.
world as things. He's 51 now. Like maybe back when he was 41, like 10 years, and like we were there.
Yeah.
Like we've been having this talk every year, and now all of a sudden he's 51, still playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got his rookie card.
Did you?
Upper deck
Oh,
in
Upper Deck.
kindergarten
I have like at least
in like
6 or maybe
1989,
8 of those.
1990. Yeah.
He started before I was born. Like
Yeah.
in the NHL.
Yeah.
In the NHL.
Yeah.
Like not and just overall, like in the NHL, he started before I was born.
I remember calling him
And now
Jeremy
I'm
Jagger
Jagr.
because I didn't know how to say Jaromir Jagr, and I was 5 or 6 years old.
So
And
when
I
you're
listen to
in your
Darchuk.
kit, you're just in full Jagr mode, right? Like there's no argument on who's the best. He's the best, right? So like I'm easing you into the fact that we're analyzing something that he's not done playing yet. Like, Gretzky's done in his 30s. Like he's playing in his 50s right now. Now, I'm just saying, guys can work out and
Well, it seems like he's underrated in that sense, and I guess one of the things that we feel like is that the years outside of the National Hockey League, like not these current ones,
Yeah.
the years when he went to Russia, were ones that I think in the end hurt a little bit of him going in that discussion,
then-
which they shouldn't.
And then the argument with that is, without going to Russia and realizing that, holy shit, I got to get back to the NHL. Without Russia, like he was on his kind of, just finishing with the Rangers. He was with Washington. Man, he wins the cup first 2 years of his in the league, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, and you're a superstar.
You're right
you
at the
signed the
top.
max contract.
Yeah. The bar
You
was
don't
set high.
realize
Yeah.
what you lost until you get it back,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's my argument with the KHL. That he went over there, realized like, hey, I can still play, and and comes back and
Well, to build on that, I mean, I think to build on what you're saying, Matt, is I was kind of
Philly
surprised. Yeah, Philly Yogs.
Thank you.
Pardon you.
Jeez, I got to get used to Philly Yogs being next to me again here.
which one is it this time?
But the year with Calgary was supposed to be the year that he was going to break Gordie Howe's all-time games played
Right.
record. And we had circled the date, and I think it was going to be in February in Vegas. And we were going to,
Weird.
and we ended up being there at that game anyways. But, there was, I think he only finished about, I should know this better, but I want to say 35 games short or something like that. And but there was no conversation with regards to that, and so I do agree with you. Yeah, like I don't know if it's because it's a European thing or what, but I mean the stats are the stats. Like he is by far the best player that has played since Wayne Gretzky.
1,921 points he finished in the NHL with.
Yeah.
He would have been a 2,000 point guy, as we were
easy.
saying earlier.
Easy,
Yeah.
2,200, I'd say, because when he was in Russia, it
That's
was
3 seasons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was in
05
lockout
-ish?
years. Yeah, exactly. And then he did go over in 08, 09 as well.
That
too.
was the 3 years. Like, so if you had those 3 years or he goes away, not even the lockouts and stuff, you say he puts up 50 points in the NHL
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah,
That's
he would be-
150 right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's going to do a little bit more. You take away the NHL lockouts that they had or the shortened seasons and stuff. That's it might even be 23 or
Gretzky
something.
went through a couple of lockouts too,
Yeah.
though. So you got from a comparison standpoint.
I'm not going to compare to Gretzky.
Yeah, no,
like,
no,
it's
no,
not going
yeah.
to get
but
there.
yeah, but that's the
his numbers would
benchmark, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, but it's when I was going through his stats, just looking, it's just absolutely
insane.
incredible.
What would have been fitting, like to bookend things, and you're talking about it, New York Yogs. What if after because Calgary just killed his career in the NHL? They basically did. They let him toil. I remember they came here for a game, and they were having the morning skate, and we were gonna go in and talk to him, and he's like, I don't really want to talk. Things weren't going good with the Flames, and then they basically let it wilt away and die his NHL career. If Pittsburgh had come in, I know Pittsburgh was on a run. They had just won a cup. If the Penguins had picked him up, that would have been a perfect way to bookend his NHL career. You end as a Penguin, you're the 13th or 14th forward, and then you can go back to Kladno and play 10 more years and do what he's doing. I think that would have been the perfect ending and probably would have not cemented his legacy, but given that legacy, that nice stamp at the end,
Gone out
where
on
you're
a
like,
high
you
note.
did it right, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess you could argue when they were in the playoffs and he hit the crossbar against Chicago in double overtime, right? And they would have won the cup with Boston, right?
Yeah.
Like there's always the bookend that you can argue the bookend, or sorry, like there's always
fairy
the
story book
We
ending.
don't
tale
all
ending,
get
yeah.
the Ray Bork.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You get the Ray Bork ending, or you get the it'd been nice. Maybe
The Rudy
What do they think
getting
of him in
carried off
Pittsburgh?
the field.
Do you guys like? Is he still revered in
Oh,
Pittsburgh a
they-
little bit?
they
Like
loved him
because
in
he went to go
Pittsburgh.
play
The
for
game
the
that we went
Flyers,
to
right?
at the PP&G there, it was great. Great.
So it didn't
fans.
hurt as much that he went to go play for the Flyers.
I don't think that was a thing.
It was probably in the
it was a
beginning.
thing. It's a thing for
Yeah.
their rivalry, but I mean,
10 years later.
That's
They're
true.
over it and stuff.
1 year with the Flyers, 73 games played, 19 goals, 35 assists in 11-12. So, maybe by then the wound had healed.
Yeah. Because we were in Pittsburgh in, when was that? 2018? I think that was at New York And then, then we drove, stopping in that Mormon restaurant. Remember asking for a beer, and the girl just looked at me. I'm like, what do you mean you don't serve beer? It's Mormon country. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not just the
take a
games.
coffee.
Exactly.
It's getting to the games. It's getting, ready to go. It's an experience.
Really quickly, I went to my buddy's stag in 2008. We went to Vegas, 17 of us. We went to UNLV versus BYU. Nice. The best man, who's in charge of getting us those football game tickets, got us tickets in the BYU section. And I was like, why is nobody in the beer lines? This is amazing. Whoops. So I had one of those moments as well. Also, we got a text that comes in 780-218-9999 from Piss Jug. Great name. Morning, boys. It's Piss Jug here. Is there socials to follow along with you guys on the trip to Czech? Sounds like a good time. Have fun. Love Piss Jug.
And
Not the one thing about
like
when you're
organized socials, like, we're going to be here for sure.
No,
or something
like,
like
Social media.
So like Twitter,
Oh,
Insta,
yeah, can
or
follow
X
along
and
the
all
we
that.
do
story,
have we have Twitter handle. We have
the
Facebook,
traveling,
yeah.
the Traveling Jagrs.
The Traveling
with two
Jagrs.
L's.
yeah.
Very important.
Oh, you guys are two L's?
Yes.
Oh, I had one there. My apologies.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
okay.
okay.
Because that's the Canadian thing. There's the different ways, and
But Dallas Yogs is our social media guy.
Yes.
So we'll be sharing some stuff with him, and then I'm sure he'll be able
That's
to
it?
post it.
Yeah.
At 68 is great. GR8 is the Traveling
Oh,
Jagrs
that's a great
official
handle.
account.
Yeah.
Confirmed
That's an
by
awesome handle for
Rangers
that.
Yachts.
that's a sweet handle for that. Like
is a
that's
good
really
one.
well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finding those good handles is pretty epic and stuff.
Well,
so.
Washington Yogs is his license plate is 68 is GR8. Yeah, but it's
That's
a beauty.
We're just riding in his like beat up motorhome with a CBC crew in it. There's just no rules, I guess, right? Anyway, yeah.
In overdrive.
Put it in overdrive. Yeah.
Let's switch to a little bit of current hockey here then.
Okay, yeah.
Oilers season ticket holder, Oiler fan, or
I'm a Canuck fan.
you're a Canuck fan?
Oh, things are good for you right now. Relatively.
Relatively. I mean, again, I think the Canucks had the same start as the Oilers this year as last year. The Canucks started off 1-5,
0-5, and they blew multi-goal leads.
Yeah,
so
we're
I mean, it
almost
was the
everyone.
same start that I got ribbing a little bit about that, but I'm not saying it like I live in Oiler country, and Oiler fans are not happy right now.
Why the Canucks?
Pavel Bure. So I was a Wayne Gretzky fan until they traded him, and I was at an age 8, right, that I didn't understand how the Oilers could trade him. And I couldn't cheer for the Oilers anymore. Pavel Bure lands in Vancouver.
That's a nice
Bure.
fallback plan.
Yeah.
To cheer as a kid, to cheer for someone and watch someone. Pavel Bure is a pretty nice one.
Pavel Bure, yeah.
And then Yogs came along.
And then Yogs. I was playing junior B, and one of the girls was just like my billet was just obsessed with Yager, and it just like those are the times when you're like collecting cards in the '90s, right? You knew.
Oh, yeah.
When cards came out, and you had the pro set Yager, some of these cards that's how all the fandom came about.
Yeah.
With
I had Messier. Like I would get every Messier card,
Moose
every
was my
set,
guy
every
growing
year.
up,
Yeah. That was my guy.
How'd you feel when he went to Vancouver?
I'm like, what is this garbage?
Yeah, that was
It was hot
was kind of
garbage
a
for 3
shame.
seasons.
He's
Yeah.
the captain.
Yeah. No, I know. It was terrible.
He got the nice C on
you
there.
talk about going out in a whimper.
Yeah. Well, he had his triumphant return to New York, which was a nice way to go out. It was weird because he played in the Heritage Classic back in 03
Yeah, I
as
was
an
there.
Oiler, but he was still a Ranger. I remember that. Remember they made an exception for him to play in that
Yeah, well, in the Heritage game.
in the alumni game. Yeah, it was.
Thank you. Yeah.
It was weird. I was like, and he's still speaking of like shells and stuff. He had his Rangers pants and then a Oilers shell over it, and he was wearing his Rangers helmet. I'm like, this just doesn't feel right, you know? It was one of those weird hockey oddities.
I
but
couldn't
because
tell.
of-
I was sitting in like row 68. So
Yeah.
I was,
You were warm, I'm assuming.
let's say, oh God, no.
Yeah.
Froze my ass off.
Oh man.
But I love that game. Like I love the memories of
It's,
being there and
the
sitting
weather
through all of
is
that.
what made it.
Exactly.
You remember it that much more.
If it was a day where it was -5, we'd talk about, hey, it was the first ever outdoor game we were there. That was nice.
Yeah,
But it's the
exactly.
fact that we sat, like, it was -25, we froze to death, and
Beer rings, like the beer was freezing in the cup faster than I could drink it. Like,
Wow.
yeah, the tip is don't buy too many at once.
yeah, definitely.
Like this Sunday, if it's below 0, do not buy too many at once, because if it starts freezing, then you got to deal with the slush and stuff.
Hey, Yogs, this Yogs has got some good points.
He fits right
I've
in.
experienced my outdoor games a bit. Don't worry, I've been outside enough.
You guys are stuck with him. Now we're screwed here at EST. We can't go on the air without Philly Yogs, but
EST
we
is
understand.
hiring.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're gonna just change all my names. I was called Mr. Lee. Now I'm Philly Yogs. I'm sticking with it. What's wrong with the Oilers?
I have no idea. Like it's just team chemistry. Just something's just not happening. I mean, a couple of little mental errors for sure. Like a Saturday night in terms of Skinner maybe making a choice that he could have been a little smarter on.
Absolutely.
And you know, but it's an 82 game season. I do personally, I kind of poo-poo on this town a little bit, because I think we need something other than the Oilers to distract us. And Tom, you and I, we've had these conversations. Just how, it's the greatest thing, because I think the Oilers have some of the greatest fans, and they are so passionate.
They are.
But on the flip side is that all of a sudden it brings out all these armchair quarterbacks and armchair GMs, that all of a sudden there's talk about, oh, we got to trade Bouchard, and oh, we got to, why don't we do this, and why don't we do that? And it's like, it's 5 games, like just relax, 6 games, I mean, yesterday that was kind of a bit of an egg laying in the third period for sure. But it's, I'm not the coach. I'm not the GM. I'm just a fan. I enjoy, when they win, get a little upset when they lose, but I'm not about to start saying, oh, we should be doing this, or oh, we should be doing that. I just enjoy the game for what it is, and watching some of the best hockey players in the entire world on a pretty nightly basis, being able to watch them. So
Hearing that, it's very refreshing, because I feel like fans now have gone away from that a lot and want to be the GM and the coach, and they've lost the reason that they're fans, which is just to enjoy what you're watching, and it's your team, and you cheer, and when they win, you're happy, as you said. When they lose, you're upset, but it's like,
your life shouldn't matter.
But now people,
as to how you feel as to based upon how a hockey team does. Like,
well, and even just to the Traveling Jagrs going to a game. You're
now,
at a game.
if Yogs has a bad game,
Well,
then,
different story.
but that doesn't
we're a
happen.
little depressed. Yeah, but
That doesn't happen.
He's never had a bad game, as far as I understand.
But like, even like when you go to the game, you're there to have fun, and like you guys go as Traveling Jagrs and have fun there. But there's a lot of people that go and they sit there to judge.
Yeah.
They sit there to like, I am going to coach this team and GM this team from the seats, and that's what I am here for. And I feel like that has gone, and that's partly a difference between us and Europe, is that they still, they'll be critical of their team, but they go to have the good time. And they go to have fun, and they go there to cheer on their team. And if they lose, they get upset. And Europe a little worse than here in that regards. But I feel like that fandom is kind of going away with a lot of people. So it's refreshing to hear that.
It's good to be a fan, but at the end of the day, and going back to, whether the wave controls whether people, how the Oilers do.
Oh, Pittsburgh Yogs, this was a whole 10-minute segment on the post-game show the other night.
Oh my God.
But
no, it's they're humans. They're out on the ice. They're playing what they do best. They're amazing at it, and I'd love to see you get down on skates and do any better. Like,
there are guys out there that think they could, though, as you know.
Well, they're over at the River Cree when I'm playing Div 68 hockey, and they think
Nice.
they think that the scout's still looking out from from Tap 25 there at the River Cree, and I'm going to get scouted. No.
That injury in Junior B, that knee injury, cost them the chance at the show. That's the
Exactly.
thing. They had that one injury, and it's just
exactly,
the show didn't happen. But they would have been there. They would have been in the show.
Lance texts in, says Pittsburgh Jagr gets it.
Oh,
There you go.
thank you, Lance. Appreciate that.
Lance, appreciate the tip. But you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I love when people get upset. For someone who hosts an Oilers pre and post game show,
100%, yeah.
For our business,
it's great. Yeah. But what you were saying, when you take a step back, exhale, yeah, you're right. Like, enjoy what is in front of you, what you get to go. Now, here's my question, though. Do you think that betting has kind of changed how some fans
not wrong
view
there.
the game when you're actually putting your own money on the line?
I think that we're going that way big time.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you put money down, it's part of like, look at the March Madness. So many people are interested in March Madness who don't follow college basketball all season, but they built their bracket, and all of a sudden Valipero State or whatever is on the court, and they're all in on Valipero State and going, why aren't you winning this? Like, they get all upset because now you have a little bit of a vested interest in that. And I think betting, I didn't even think about that part. That's gonna make things very different.
Totally does.
Yeah.
I mean, you're betting on Leon Draisaitl to get 2 assists, and the odds are only 0.5 because he's on the power play for 2 minutes.
Yep. And you put down like $250, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden doesn't happen.
Yeah,
You're like,
but that's not an Oilers or Leon Draisaitl
No,
problem.
that's true. That's
a you
true.
problem. Like,
But that's where and that's where it can
a
ruin.
little
Like,
accountability, please.
you'll have that Oilers, like let's say you bet the over on that, and Leon doesn't do that, but the Oilers win a big hockey game. You're mixed emotions. There's gonna be those that have those mixed emotions that are very excited that the team won, but also then very upset, like, but Leon should have got that extra assist. It cost me $200 or whatever it is tonight, and
or like
it's
when
that balancing
Mahomes
act.
slid at the end of the game a couple weeks
yeah.
ago.
I did hear
Like,
about this. Yes, and how it costs
It's
people.
bucks,
yeah.
as a Baltimore
Millions,
Raven
millions.
fan, I hate having Ravens on my fantasy football team. Because the Ravens are my number one important. Like, I want the Ravens to win. I want them to win the Super Bowl. That's the most important thing every NFL season.
I thought you won it with them both times. You were starting linebacker.
I play hockey.
Yeah,
I've never played football.
Philly Yogs, not Matthew Iwanyk at this point. My
Well,
bad.
Yogs may have liked to gamble a little bit back in the
I
day.
could see that a
There's
little
some
bit.
great stories.
But if I don't win a single fantasy game, I don't care. If the Ravens are great, I'm happy. If they lose, I'm disappointed in them, and that's what matters most. So I don't like having the Ravens. I don't like splitting my allegiance.
I would,
And I think
would agree with that.
betting's going to go that way a lot more, where you're going to be splitting your allegiance if you're betting a lot, especially if it's your team. Do you bet against, like, even if you bet against your team,
Don't bet with your heart.
well, there's that.
But that happens.
That's a big one. Don't
That
bet with
happens
your
a lot,
heart.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then sometimes that's when it really will cross into going against your heart.
I love that you bring up March Madness. You get some guys that walk up, like buddies, and they're like, "Oh, bro, my bracket got busted yesterday." And I'm like, "You like NCAA basketball?"
You know any of these teams?
Yeah. Pardon, your bracket was
Because
busted.
Baylor's a 2 seed?
Yeah.
You took them?
Yeah.
Oh, they're a 2 seed.
Yeah. I just be like,
Oh.
you okay?
All
Well,
right.
sorry to hear your
Yeah,
bracket
tough
got
break.
busted.
Have you ever filled out a bracket?
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. We did it last year at 1260. I'm like, you guys made me do it, and I did it. And I'm like, oh, I busted on the first day. Shucks. And people are like, my bracket's still going. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Good job. You're great.
Well, I'm in Scott McCord's pool from the Bear.
Yeah, but
And
McCord's like
it's a $40
hardcore.
buy-in.
Yeah.
And it's like winner take all. So it's like I do want to win that. I've been in like 8 years and I've never won. I've gotten close a couple years, but haven't been able to finish it off.
Anyway,
When you put $40 down, it makes it even more fun.
you got skin in the game, Philly Yogs.
Yeah, no, and you're right though. But when you do have money involved, you watch. I'm the same way. Whether it is a football match or because I play in a football pool with some buddies or a golf pool. You watch. But I guess it's just kind of controlling that fact that okay, win, lose, whatever. Yay, big deal. Life goes on.
It is a concern in basketball. The interactions with fans and players, and betting's going to add more negative feedback because they're right there. They're right with the players.
Just
And-
trip one of the guys.
Well, but
You could. You really could.
Oh, I got to stretch. Oh, sorry.
but it's
there,
just the
LeBron.
chirping
Yeah.
and just going at a player and stuff, and like that. And we're seeing it a little more in basketball where players and fans are really interacting a bit more, and that's only going to get worse with betting. Like hockey, at least you got that glass. It's been very few times someone's gone over that glass.
Yeah.
there's the one in Calgary. And there was the penalty box with Ty Domi.
And then Philly with
yes.
that's right.
Yeah.
So, but very few
Classic.
times it's
I like how
happened.
Domi had to protect himself.
Yes.
Like he's, I need to protect myself against this guy falling
He's falling
over the
in,
glass, and he's just
He's
feeding
leaned
him.
over. He
40
can't even
pounds
see me.
overweight.
But yeah, I'm gonna give some haymakers right now.
Yeah, he was in danger.
I forgot about that. That's just protecting
I think we'd
myself.
all do what Ty Domi would do. You got free shots at a guy, you're taking those free shots at the guy. I know we don't fight, but in those moments we'll get those fights. We've no penalty fight minutes. That's the
Again, Philly. It was in Philly.
I know
like-
because they're insane.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
Hey, watch your fan
Like,
base.
they
Hey,
are-
don't talk about your fan base like that.
It's, but that's why I love them. They love me. I love them.
Oh, but that's too good. You're really embracing this. Do you want to get?
No, I love the jersey. Like
Yeah,
I
no.
love the Flyers have a great look, and like that's like when Penguins have a nice one. The Rangers is a nice classic one.
Well, it's barely changed.
Because it's
Some
like,
you don't
that's
you
the way
don't
you
mess
want.
with perfection. Yeah.
Devil, like
There's
the
fermented
Stars.
beer in there. I'm
The
sure.
Stars
Oh,
one
don't
Jagr
answer that.
wore was not the best Stars uniform
No,
that they
that's
had. I'm trying to remember which Flames one he wore.
Just the
It
red.
was just
Yeah,
normal.
with
There's
the
the red.
piping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't he was like
It was uninspired.
That's just
The classic
I liked
Pittsburgh
his
is
Florida one actually.
Florida one
That was
all
a
right.
good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And Boston can't go wrong. Jersey is
Boston, the black Boston.
Yeah.
That's nice.
yeah.
He played for some good organizations,
Yeah,
uniform-wise.
some good
Jersey.
threads. Speaking
Right.
of good threads, we've got some good threads at our EST shop.
EST
via
shop
the,
now open.
The Hive.
EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Thanks to our
We should get
merch
that
partners, the Hive Product Marketing, products that bring the buzz. EST or EdmontonSportsTalk. We should get EST.com.
We should.
That might be
Turning
a
it into a
smart
thing.
business move. EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Go to the top. EST shop. We've got hoodies, shirts, sweatshirt, champion sweatshirt, toque, hat, coffee mug.
Yes.
All available. Pre-orders until November 15th, and we'll have those to you December 15th, if not a little bit sooner, so you can get them just in time for Christmas. Thank you for reminding me to mention our. We haven't
You
mentioned it
said
much.
great
But
threads, and I was like, that's a good time to slide in the Hive.
the Hive Product Marketing. Talk to Chelsea; she'll take good care of you.
She's great. Yeah, you've really embraced this, so that's beautiful.
Today was also brought to you by the numbers 6 and 8.
What is this, Sesame Street? Great show, by the way.
100%.
6 and 8, baby.
6 and 8. Traveling Jagrs. Anything else people need to know if they want to find you? Are you guys doing any other events this year? Or is this kind of it, or is it just you play it by ear?
We play it by ear. I mean, you just got to get there, hey?
You never know.
You
what
guys got
happens
your plane
when you
tickets.
show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
making sure. Like,
yeah.
like that one, we're still not like, oh, we don't have our plane tickets yet.
We're going to head down to the airport and hope they
Just grab a couple
Do what
flights.
you did in Boston. We're here.
Get us on the
yeah,
plane.
use your private jet.
Where's the plane?
It's like, who are you?
The plane is.
Where's the check-in for the PJs?
Where's the drinks for us? The complimentary drinks as well.
Yeah,
and,
put it on Sports That's tab.
Yeah, that's right.
When you did go to Boston and you're like, we're here, how did that all evolve?
Well, we were in contact with TSN. Like, we were on That's Hockey, and when Kate McKenna came down to meet us in Philadelphia, so she did some That's Hockey
Yep.
sort of little. The Traveling Jagrs are here, blah,
Little
blah, blah, blah,
featurette.
blah, like. And so she was following us around the whole game, but we flew to Philly. We went to a Phillies game, and then we got on a train, went to Boston. But there was never this like, hey, we don't have tickets yet, right? Like, and we're doing all this stuff. We just had to get down there. We went there with no ticket, like no, and then we just we had to ended up just going, okay, 150 each, let's go.
Sounds like Vegas as well,
Vegas,
too.
we did that too. Like, do we even have tickets yet? Yeah.
I was surprised we got in.
Did you guys do Traveling Jagrs in Vegas?
Yeah, we had
wow.
That was a
so
great
I was-
story. Great story.
Yeah, let's hear it.
we went to this fundraiser in Calgary where they auctioned off going to the game with the Traveling Jagrs.
Speaking
right?
of PJs.
Yeah. And so
That
like
would've
they
been sweet.
raffled it off. And then Jagr wasn't on Calgary anymore.
Yeah.
So like then they tried to change their trip and just kind of gas us a little bit. Like, oh well, that's over. He's not there. And they tried to change their trip. So we still ended up going, right? Like
Great.
we were planning
Great
on going,
times.
so
That's a
we
great
ended
barn.
up going,
Wow.
and then
It is.
Oh,
Well, atmosphere-wise.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
They
so
know how to put on a show there.
there's that's one where we went as the Traveling Jagrs to a game that he wasn't even at.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually, yeah.
I respect that actually quite a bit.
Well, but again, it was more for the fact that we had raised 42 grand for the Suncor's charity that they've got there.
Right.
But yeah, it was like, well, no, we've helped raise this money. Like we should probably be there. And
At that game
you know,
at that game in Vegas, Brian Burke was staring at me. Right, we were in this hallway, and Brian Burke was talking to somebody, and he just kept staring at me. It was because like 4 or 5 years before, he was at a charity thing in Innisfail, and I came up and talked to him about the Traveling Jagrs, and he just kind of looked through me. He kind of looked through me and just stopped talking to me and walked away. And so like 4 or 5 years later, like I'm
he was
sure
having
something,
deja vu.
you know, one of those old guys that something triggers in his head, and he just like. Anyway, yeah, I've been late at night talking to Craig McTavish, like back in like 2012, I think, and I'm telling him, I'm like, how have you not signed Jagr yet, man? you guys are. And he had to like go blunt to me. He's like, we are not interested in Jaromir Jagr at this time.
As if
At
full
this time.
reporter or
Yeah,
something.
Well
and
said.
then even like Craig Button, like so I got talking to Craig Button, and he starts telling me this story about how Wayne Fleming, the old
Yeah.
Flames, he was on his like in the hospital, and he saw us on TV, and he started laughing like, and then he goes into these stories about anyway, it's just this full circle, like you're meeting these different people that you'd never really meet. Otherwise,
wasn't it Brad May that we were having drinks with after the game in Vegas? Yeah.
He's a good dude, Brad May. Okay, so you guys get to Vegas. So they actually tried to, like you said, gas you from the trip, but you guys were the reason.
That's the reason why the trip happened. But
Yeah.
they figured, well, Jagger's not here. We're
So
not going
what?
to do the Traveling Jagr trip.
Yeah.
They had their own PJ that they bought still. They still went down there.
Yeah.
And they
did
they
meet
all
up with
dressed.
them. Well,
They
we
tried
had
their
the,
they tried their own. We're all going to dress like something else, right?
Really?
Oh,
So
trying
they're-
to, like a
Yeah,
knockoff
so,
thing.
yeah,
and
knockoff
then,
thing.
and when you try,
Best
when it's
form of flattery.
contrived, it's not the same.
Yeah, and so
when you
we
try, like,
saw-
oh, it's all no.
So
like
we run
the
into this
flying
crew at the
McDavids or
game.
the Kucherov.
You
So
know?
it's like, what is this?
Yeah, we've had people mimic us at games, and just they just brush it off. Oh, that's not them.
Yeah.
Really?
And they just
Yeah.
Okay, this is interesting
Yeah, like,
because
so
like,
there's been copycats,
yep.
right? So like you'll see a broadcast out of Vancouver, and there's just 4 other guys trying to do it.
Yep.
Or not trying, doing it.
Doing it.
But it's
Trying.
just
It's
not-
trying. It's trying.
Yeah.
But they don't get any like play as us. We're recognized as not that. Well, that's not them, right? So it's
Well, yeah, it's not just. This isn't just costume day. This isn't
Yeah, it's a-
Halloween
it's a
or
kit.
something like
It's
that,
a-
right? Like,
it's called a kit, not a
Conveniently,
costume.
I love that you guys do
conveniently
call it the
enough,
kid
is,
and all that.
Halloween.
I know, but it's like it's not just go to the game and dress up as whoever you want type thing, and like, oh, now you'll get play. Like, this is now a thing that has been around for a long time. You don't just get it taken over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the copycat. I don't like the mimicking.
Well, and you can't really, and you try to think of another entity that you could do it with.
Oh, that's what we were trying to have that discussion too
there's
before you
not
guys jump on.
really
there's not that other
Like you
player
can't
you
do
could
a
go with.
Gretzky. You can't
One
do.
of my buddies mentioned a CFL quarterback. I guess he's played for all 9
Oh, Kevin
teams.
Glenn.
Kevin Glenn.
Yes.
Yeah, we were
yeah,
talking
there
about
you go.
that. One of the traveling Kevin Glens. Yeah.
So I don't actually.
teams,
So I
guess.
don't mind like something like that, especially with the Glenn family if they did that and
It's
all
a
the
spin-off.
cousins.
Right.
Yeah, it's a
The
spin-off
spin-off's
there.
good.
Yeah.
But the Flying McDavids is kind of.
No, it wouldn't be the same.
That's like the Green Man in. Remember the Green Man in Vancouver?
that's original, though.
Yeah, but then other people try to do it in other.
Exactly.
And it's like, no, it's not the same. You don't capture the essence of it the same way.
Yeah, the
So-
originality.
So these guys, they go down. You guys end up going down anyway. You're dressed up as the Traveling Jagrs, obviously. And
Jim
they're-
Poplinski was with that group too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
and he's good dude, Jim
yeah,
Poplinski.
he's great.
But
Yep.
yeah, so we met up with them at a bar like down
Just on the strip
Free-
there in
yeah.
front of the.
Fremont Street.
It
was St. Patrick's
That
Day.
was the night before. Yes. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's right. I remember that. Yep.
Is there a confrontation? Is it awkward?
No, it was.
I know,
just
I'm teasing.
Yeah, but the one guy, he knew he screwed up, right?
Yeah.
You know, he
There was
knew he
guilt.
screwed. Like the guy who changed their trip,
Yeah.
he screwed up. That's fine. You're allowed to screw up.
Yeah.
I'm sure his.
We
ego-
still had fun.
Oh, 100%.
You're in Vegas.
Fun. What was the guy from Crazy Horse that walks up to us and says, "I got 2 bottles of Grey Goose sitting waiting for you guys when you're ready to come over."
Yeah, well,
It's
yeah.
like $1,000 worth of.
That's a nice little
Nice
message.
little perk.
Yeah, well, that's, okay, yeah, that's pretty good. When you guys went to like the Phillies game and stuff, did you dress up?
No.
Or no, like that. It's hockey, Jager
no,
only, basically.
yeah. We see at that
Yogs
time we
wasn't
were.
playing.
Yeah, that's right.
But Yags wasn't playing this game in Vegas, and
Yeah, but that one was more.
as a show.
That was later on. Like that was
Okay.
like maybe 5-6 years later from Philly. When we were in Philly, it was just we have a TSN. Like we just had to get there, and right after the Boston bombings, we're just loading our duffel bags into like we're dressed up. Like it was just a weird. It was a weird time when we were down there, but anyway.
Does anybody try to mix it up with you guys? Like, when fans get a little too hammered?
There's only a couple times, and it's always that like old bitter guy that just there's been a couple like just little
Yager
chirp offs.
screwed one of his ex-girlfriends.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
there's still like yeah. You know what though? All the fan interaction. And then all that like we've Stanley Cupped a few girls, and we have to get their permission.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like nowadays,
Yeah,
of a
waivers.
world of like, listen, like I'm not. So like, can we Stanley Cup you? Right, and just like hold her over our heads, like we won the Stanley Cup, and she loves that. It's her photo. She's the one that wants that photo, right?
yeah.
But so just different photo
yeah.
ops that we've
Great
done,
times.
and yeah, it's a lot of
One
fun.
more. We're always asked for
Oh,
one more.
just one. Hey, just one more.
Okay, one more picture.
I like it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always
One
yeah.
more.
So, yeah.
One more.
Is there a cutoff as soon as the game starts? Like the period
Well, no,
resumes? Or do you
the
guys-
main one is warm ups, right? Just hey, we got to get to warm ups. We got like that is like our most sacred thing for whatever reason. It just turned into that because
I do
because it's the
remember us
most.
gassing a couple of people who were like, "No, we'll be here for the rest of the night. We got to go. So come find us."
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Hard
in
to
terms
miss.
of a picture.
Ah,
Yeah. So,
like Yager drives with his sticks and a cab to the hotel in between like pregame skate and like he
really?
brings his sticks with him, his 7 sticks or whatever. Like he's into.
well, his locker. I remember he had like little trinkets. I think he's very religious, and he has like a little shrine up there. Nobody touches it. Leave his locker alone. Don't shoot the locker. He's a different
don't shoot
cat.
meticulous.
Yeah.
We like to call it meticulous.
Meticulous. Yes, he's very meticulous with that.
Well, it's whatever works. It's like Sidney Crosby's known for being extremely superstitious.
Yeah.
Going back, like if he does something and things are going well, like even his teammates have to do certain things the same way because it's working. And Crosby wants it done that way. And until you lose, you got to keep doing it because
Excuse me.
sports
it's sad,
athletes
right?
are weird.
Yeah.
They're insane.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
But when you guys see him, it's always a big smile and big hugs all around.
Oh yeah,
it seems
it's,
like
he's very happy when again it's sort of different. He's got so many fans, right? So whenever he's meeting anybody, you know, what are you gonna? Hey, we're already yelling the whole game.
Yeah. What was it down in Florida when we went to see him there, and he was saying that he was going on vacation or something, and he was gonna let us
stay
house.
let us stay at the house. No,
Yeah.
just kidding.
Have you ever got his attention during a game?
Oh well,
Where he's like-
during
he's-
warm-ups,
during
for sure.
warm-ups
Yeah.
you can, but during a game it's
He's never
way
looked.
too loud, really, and there's 20,000.
And usually we're in the bleachers. Too,
yeah, we're
so-
usually on the bleeders. Yeah,
So yeah, it's a little far for him to kind of look up.
Peek up and look. Oh, there's my boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Does he get a heads up when you guys are going? Or
Does
you
he
guys
what?
to get heads up when you guys are going? Like, do you know, like, or is it just the Olsen sees you guys in warm ups
well, the
and
Florida, as it evolved in Florida, you knew we were there,
Yeah.
right? Because his girl was coming up and getting a hold of us.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
Yeah.
So
I remember that.
yeah.
I'm Yaromir's girlfriend. Oh, I'm sure you're not the only one that's here tonight. No, it's true. Okay.
Okay.
All right. What's your name? Oh, okay. I hadn't met her before, but
She looks-
Dallas Yogs had, so and I think you had as well, but
Yeah.
I hadn't, and she came up to me first.
I'll ask you guys this: has he not lived like the ultimate hockey lifestyle?
yeah.
Yeah. He's still playing. He's still like, I'm sure he's still training too.
Yeah.
In his like sick, twisted ways of like he had keys to the arena, doing like weight vest workouts, like just extra things that no one else
His
is
calves are
doing.
huge, man. Like,
You don't play to 51
Yeah,
He's a giant.
without having that great physique and taking care of your body even to this day.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing him.
yeah. So you never know
Well, it's
what's going to
another
happen,
teammate.
right? But I think on the 29th, if he's in the building, I'm sure we'll run into him.
Actually, he might not play goal, but you convince him to join your team.
Well, that was the-
You convince him to join your team, you know?
He
Like,
probably
hey,
knows a couple guys that,
no, have him
you know,
play.
like a Voracek or like,
Yeah.
you know, we're going to Caberlet's
Voracek, I haven't
bar.
heard that
We're going,
name.
Yeah.
we're meeting up with Yogs, and then we're going to Thomas Caberlet's bar after.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean,
What names?
you're just throwing out names, right?
forgetting
Oh, that's
No big
Caberlet's
deal.
bar.
No,
They got a
but
good
I'm forgetting
brisket,
New
I
York.
heard.
I'm forgetting those names.
You dropped something. Oh, there's a bunch of names that you dropped on the floor. I'm sorry. You want me to pick those up for you?
So
How's
that's
the
one-
brisket there?
But that's the one sad thing, and why I'm looking more forward to this trip to Kladno is because the last time we literally booked our tickets, and the next day he got injured over in Kladno after after it ended with Calgary there. So now he had to get in a certain number of games though in order to qualify that he could play for the playoffs.
Right.
So for those 3 games that we went to there, he would get dressed. He'd go out, like he'd do the warm up, which was great. So we would be able to take part in that. But then he would go and take the opening draw and immediately skate off, just so that he could
game played.
get the game played. So we really never had a chance to watch him play in Kladno Silks. So I'm hoping that he's able to put him on this time around.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Exactly.
There you go.
I think that's it.
That was a hell of a.
We had time?
That was a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Wow.
That
That
was
was
You did good.
an amazing time.
You picked up a new Philly Yogs, like
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm ready to go. I'm game on when you guys come back.
Billy, are you listening?
All the best to you guys in your trip,
thanks.
and you guys have a great time and enjoy it.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you.
Really
Coming up
appreciate
next, it is the Lock Shop, Dusty and Huss. I'm sure there'll be some World Series baseball talk. There's one game in the NHL. Recap the 16 games in the NHL yesterday, and Huss losing a parlay right at the end. I'm sure he's going to be a little frustrated. And then, Tommy, you're back at noon with Dusty.
Oil Stream.
Oilers Stream. What's
Lots
wrong
to
with the
talk
Edmonton
about.
Oilers?
Everything.
Oh, boy.
They will have an hour to dissect that. That's coming up noon here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, as well as our YouTube channel for those that are watching. We will redirect you to the Lock Shop. Once again, thanks for coming in. On behalf of Pittsburgh Yogs, Rangers Yog, Tom Gazzola, I'm Philly Yogs. Thanks for tuning in.
We got to salute.
Thanks for tuning in to the EST Hangout. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right.